Hello, my name is Frank Turner and I am a massive Wildhearts fan and I'm very excited to be sitting here with the Wildhearts.
Hello.
Hello.
Right.
I've got some fan questions here that have been sent in, but I'm going to start off with a fan question of my own. So this one comes from Frank in Essex.
It's
21 years old. I mean, I've told some of you this story before. I queued up to buy PHUQ at midnight from the R price in Winchester when I was a kid. Came to see you guys play. First saw you on Noisy Mothers. They had the video for I Want to Go when you're on the back of the truck driving around New York, and that was my first exposure.
Uninsured, I might ask.
Yeah.
Uninsured.
But yeah, so I mean, I guess it's a great joy to me that we're friends at this point in our life, and I take a lot of inspiration from you guys. Drawing on that, like, you guys have been through a lot as a band, and you've been doing it for how many years now?
30.
30 years.
1989.
1989.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
32 years. Yeah.
Jesus.
And you know, you've been through many different kind of experiences. Obviously, the last year's been really weird, as we all know, with the pandemic and that kind of thing. I haven't got COVID. I've got a sticker that says as much. I guess my question is, to get the ball rolling, first of all, how have you guys coped with it, and can anything kill the Wildhearts?
Second half of the question first, no. And we've tried.
Right.
You know, and nothing can. We don't get ill. We don't get death. Or, you know, we've got a lot of friends who died, who've from drink and drugs, and
we're resilient. We're like Tupperware.
You know? Still going.
I mean, you can be bent out of shape, but you can just mould us back into something, you know, palatable.
Because I find a lot of inspiration from the fact that you guys are still ploughing a furrow, putting out excellent records and playing shows and touring and all that kind of thing this far into a career. And I want to phrase this in a way that doesn't sound wrong, but, like, you know, I think everybody in a music career, you have that initial moment when you're kind of cool, do you know what I mean, and everyone's excited about you. And a lot of bands do that, and when that goes away, they stop.
Yeah.
And you guys haven't done that. And I find that really inspirational. And like, do you guys think about that? Did you care about that or anything like that? Did you ever care?
Well, we've known for a long time how big we're going to get. We knew that in the 90s. It's the sort of band that we are is like a lot of the bands we like, who only got to a certain level. And then if you last long enough, in the last few years of your life, you get pushed up a level, like Stiff Little Fingers and Motorhead, Cheap Trick now. But this resilience is the one thing that I've taken from all the bands that I like. Yeah. They're doing this because they need to do it, or they want to do it. Right. It's not because of the kudos or the money.
Right. But then it's funny you say kudos, because I feel strongly that there comes a certain point where if you've been going for long enough and doing your thing and having people come to shows and care and all the rest of it, you become inarguable. It's like, what is some prick little journalist going to say about a band that's been touring for 32 years, that's still selling tickets, selling records, putting out records that are artistically coherent? Do you know what I mean? It's just like, but by very virtue of survival, you kind of win the argument. Do you know what I mean? It's like, what the fuck is anyone going to say?
You become almost like elders, don't you?
Exactly, but not in a kind of bad way.
No, not in a like, you know, pipe smoking. You know,
well, I think if we're still excited about what we're doing, we'll just do another album. We all swear is the best one we've ever done. That's the litmus test, really. We love doing this because it's because we all like the band. You know.
Me too.
Yeah.
Amazing.
It is great to write for a band like this because you know exactly what you're working with.
Sure.
And so I can imagine the songs already mixed and mastered. That's another good thing about being in a band for a long time, is you get that comfort, that familiarity.
Yeah.
We're really good at bouncing back as well, you know, because this band hasn't been smooth sailing, you know, by a long shot.
Yeah.
There's always a lot of drama around the band, but we're really good at bouncing back and coming back. To ourselves, we appear stronger every time we come back. It's not like we're coming back like a weaker version of what we were before.
Sure.
And I think that's really important, and it's also, this is like a big part of our bread and butter as well.
Sure. Yeah.
So we need to do this. You know?
Totally.
It's not like we've all got big mansions and big cars and we can be lazy. The minute we are lazy, that's the minute we stop earning and people stop getting new music and stop getting gigs and tours. So,
well, I want to come back to the future. Oh my God, I just said that out loud. I want to come back to the future of all this in a bit at the end. But I've got some questions here.
Right.
Are you ready?
Well, are
Yeah,
these from like one person?
They're all. I've made up many different names for myself. No, they're not. This is. These are questions that have been sent in. We'll get through as many of these as we can, but let's chat them through. Paul in glorious Rotherham is going to kick things off.
Right.
Do you think Rotherham's... That's not his question. Do you think Rotherham is glorious? That's not his question. I think it's all right.
Parts of it.
So this is a question for Rich, CJ and Danny. So
Good.
Go away. No, I'm kidding. Given there's been many lineup changes over the years, there's tons of recorded material that doesn't feature the three of the classic foursome. What songs do you love to play that you didn't originally play on?
Revolution.
Sorry?
Revolution. Will be
Okay,
televised.
okay.
It's actually not a Wildhearts song. It's Sonic Shape, Ginger's song from Silver Ginger 5.
I like Turning American. We don't play it very often, but it always reminds me. It was the first Wildhearts song
I think it's like
that I ever heard before I'd gone to the audition, and it always reminds me of like listening to it and thinking, oh, I hope the drumming's not too difficult.
Yeah.
And so, you know what I mean? And the intro all starts.
Yeah. And then you got the gig.
There you go. Yeah.
Amazing. Awesome. Cool. Is there ever any politics about that kind of thing, or is the body of work established?
About what?
About picking songs, you know, that from a certain record that somebody didn't play on or whatever.
Well, for touring. No, I mean.
Okay, no, but that's great. I mean, I could imagine that there potentially could be.
I'm not playing that one. He played on that.
But exactly. Do you know what I mean? There's potential for that there. But
imagine if it was like that in Iron Maiden, then they play stuff with the first two albums, didn't they?
Well, quite. I mean, I can imagine. I am a massive Iron Maiden fan. I can imagine that if songs off like the X Factor show up in the set list, Bruce might be a bit like...
Last time we met, you told me you went on Mastermind, didn't you?
I did. I won Mastermind.
Yeah,
Did you?
Who is your favourite band of all time? The first one that just came into mind.
The Week of the Hands.
Oh, excellent.
Canadian indie band. But I feel like I should have said, I feel like a bad Maiden fan now. I'm going to get kicked out of the fan club.
Now, my first love was Kiss, and they don't feature in my top whatever. Anywhere near.
We've talked about Kiss before, you and I.
Kiss were the band which made me want to be on stage as well, And
what about you guys, Kiss fans?
No.
I don't think the word is, were you Kiss fans?
Okay, Maiden's a first in, last out band. Do you know what I mean? If they were your first love, they'll be your last. Do you know what I mean? And like, they might not be your favourite band in the interim, but like, as I'm kind of shuffling off this mortal coil, I'll still be holding a copy of Killers.
Yeah.
You know.
And when you were a little sponge, that was the music that was informing you and stuff. So I'd rather answer questions about Kiss than probably anything else on Mastermind, because I don't
know if there's any questions about Kiss on here.
It's a guilty secret, but I know so much about them from being like 13, 12 when, you know.
I remember doing my A-levels and realising that I could still remember all the lyrics to the first 10 Iron Maiden albums, and I couldn't remember the answers to the question in front of me, and just going, for fuck's sake. Like,
I should be a Mastermind, that's what you
Well, exactly, and it came around in the end, it was the Celebrity Mastermind thing. I definitely cared about it way more.
Did you win a badge or something?
I won a little glass
Did you?
trophy thing with my name on it. And eBay.
It's
on my shelf.
Oh, there you go.
At home. Yeah. It's good. Right, let's crack on. John from Barry in South Wales.
Barry.
This is kind of a good follow-on from the previous question. He says, are there songs from that catalogue that you wouldn't attempt to play live or even practice? And if so, why?
Well, John from Barry Island. We have one song called Sky Babies that everybody wants to hear. It's 13 minutes long, and it's fucking rubbish.
We played it.
We went away and learned it because there was so many people complaining about it, and we didn't realise that there's probably 13 or 14 people complaining, and the rest of the world was happy that we could do 4 songs instead of that one. So we did it. We played it live, and people were just going to the toilet and using that as the piss break.
The first time we did an anniversary show in Nottingham, and the Fishing for More Luckies, wasn't it? And it was amazing. That was a really, really good moment when we did that song. The end bit, everyone was singing it.
I think that's the thing. If you've kind of made it clear what type of gig it's going to be and it's going to feature material like that, then everyone's kind of on board at the start. Do you know what I mean? Whereas if it's like you're playing what
you know this yourself when you're putting a set together, there's standards you have to put in there.
Of course.
Now, if you go on stage and you only play obscure B-sides and all the prog rock things, it's going to be a boring gig.
Yeah.
But you need to mix it up a little bit.
but unless you've pre-announced that is what the
It's
gig's
gonna
going to
be a
be,
boring
in which
gig
case
for, people going on
this one's gonna be
Mastermind.
boring. But
Well, it's the same with this thing. We had a requests thing, and we're looking forward to getting our hands on some stuff. And basically it's the first album and half of the second album.
yeah, I know.
When you bet the best of the Wildhearts is just the first record.
I mean, we
I
haven't
would
played,
dispute that.
Yeah, I would. I think we've got
dispute
better
that.
songs, but
Yeah.
as far as the fans are concerned, we know kind of what they're not going to
Sure.
want.
And I think the thing about that, this is the thing I've learned over the years, is that it's easy at times to get kind of annoyed about that almost in a way, but then the thing you've got to remember is that like there's an awful lot of bands out there who don't have any records that anyone wants to hear.
Exactly.
Do you know what I mean?
And Lemmy played Ace of Spades every gig, and I asked him if he ever got bored, and he went, no.
Because the audience is into it.
He's looking at the crowd. He's not thinking about, another 4 minutes that I can't stand. He's looking at the crowd
didn't run
going,
it in rehearsal that often.
yeah. I don't,
Do you know what I mean?
I want to go with the people.
Do we need to tighten up the bridge of that one? I think we got
the older you get, speaking for myself, when you're on stage and you gauge a gig by the reaction of the audience,
of course.
and you can feed off that
Yeah.
when they're really getting into something.
Yeah,
but there's a point where if it's a new song, they're going to have to stop and listen. But that's what I said. You need to balance it.
But exactly, you what's the word I'm looking for? You kind of like pad out. You support a new song with two bangers. songs. Do you know what I mean? Just because I always think that gigs like spinning plates, right? Do you know what I mean? And it's like keeping the energy levels up, and keep people engaged. Yeah, you can play a quiet one or a new one or an obscure one or whatever it might be, but you've got to lead people to it and then pull them back out of it and all the rest of it. So play Sky Babies. I've never seen you do it.
Maybe you should write a set list for us.
And sing it.
Yeah. Oh now. Yeah, we'll see. Okay, let's move it. We've got another one from Steve in Edinburgh now. Are you ready?
Ready.
Steve in Edinburgh.
Steve. Ready.
Edinburgh Steve. Every time you walk into a room, your theme music plays. What song is it? Doesn't have to be a Wildhearts song. Go.
Don't worry about me. That stupid little thing that's on the... I don't even know what record it's off. It's the end... PHUQ. The end of the runoff.
Yeah.
And that's like every time we walk in, do a gig, there's always people singing that.
But if you walked into a bar on your own...
So, and don't think about it. Okay. So,
I'll have the theme tune from Shaft. For me.
Oh, very nice. Okay.
Daniel,
I love the theme tune from Quincy. From Quincy.
Quincy MD.
Yeah.
Maybe Stay Mellow by the Toadles.
Okay, very good. Okay, I would.
No one had the Laurel and Hardy theme tune. I was hoping someone would have the Laurel and
Dunk
Hardy.
would have like Steptoe and Son, wouldn't he?
Yeah.
Amazing.
It's an odd question. What was that from?
That was Steve in Edinburgh.
Steve, that's weird. You're weird.
I think it was a good
I
question.
like it, but you're weird.
Right, moving on. Gary, who resides in Caithness. Am I saying that right?
Caithness.
Caithness.
It's in Scotland. Isn't
It's in Scotland,
but
yeah.
Where? I've never heard of it.
Inland, I'd
Northern
imagine.
Newcastle.
North of England.
Cheeky bastard.
He says, lucky them. He says, you're all top lads, and since being blown away at your support gig with Love Hate back in 1992.
Oh, yeah.
Do you remember this gig?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's where we've got most of our fans
Was everybody
from.
there for that gig?
No,
Richie was, it was Bam Bam.
It was a long time ago. That was,
He says, I've been a fan since then. I'm wondering if it's true if Rich as a builder and roofer were not bashing the shit out of the drum kit, and if so, how'd you get into that business?
Well, the truth is, right, in the fairly early days of the Wildhearts, there were big gaps in between albums coming out and touring. And the one time I was just with the kids at home, and they're just going, Daddy, we're hungry, Daddy. So I put them in front of the telly, and I got my VHS videos of us on Top of the Pops out. I'm like, look, that's me though, I'm a rock star, look, I'm a rock. And they weren't buying it, and they were, we're hungry. So I got the videos of us supporting AC/DC out and showed them that, and yeah, so eventually I realised I had to do the decent thing and feed them.
Yeah. Well, it's the thing. I mean, it is. I've often found there's quite a weird gap sometimes between people's perception of what life is like being in a touring band or whatever, or just a band full stop, and what it's actually like.
Contrary to popular belief, you don't become an instant millionaire from being on Top of the Pops in the 90s, you know.
I remember when I first met you, Frank. KFC.
KFC.
Milton Keynes. Lovely fries you gave me.
Oh, mate, you're welcome. I'm still waiting for your chipping for that. I remember the first time I had a song on the radio, I was in a bar and some guy came up and went, oh, yeah, buy us a drink.
Oh, yeah.
And I was like, I live in a storeroom above a pub currently. You know, it's
I
weird.
think you've got to flaunt it. I know a couple of people who would pretend to be me, and they get drinks bought for them, and they get ladies into them. I mean, that doesn't happen when I go out. And like, he throws it around a bit. Do you know who I am?
Yeah.
So it's
really?
yeah.
Does he have the same tattoos and stuff?
Well, I've got one of them's got the same name. One of them was. We shouldn't even talk about this guy, but
I know him, yeah,
one of them was arrested for road rage. He'd hit someone and he tried to reverse and bash back into them. It's obviously a nutter. Nothing to do with me. I never do anything like that. But
No way sober.
but he went to prison for a little while. And Ginger Wildheart in Prison Shocker was in all of the newspapers.
And it wasn't
turns out this guy had changed his name by deed poll to Ginger Wildheart, and his friend changed his name to Danny Wildheart.
That's right, yeah.
I thought it was Axl Rose, wasn't it? I'm sure it was Axl Rose.
So he just wants to be me.
That's a very, very effective cover story. For you.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was another guy who changed his name.
Well, we had the police around our house as he went missing for a while. We had the police at our house, and I'm like, I'm here. You know, you're missing. You're not Ginger Wildheart. And so it's got perks and drawbacks.
Yeah, how very strange. I've got another question for Rich now, specifically for Rich.
Fucking hell.
So,
I must have heard him talk.
We'll just chat, you guys.
That's all right,
Talk
yeah.
amongst
Please
yourselves.
do.
This is a multiple choice question from Sissa from Bergen in Norway.
Sissa.
Sissa.
Nice
I think I'm saying
Nice
it right.
name.
If I'm not, I'm sorry. Sissa. Sissa says, being one of the greatest, most underrated drop drummers around, would you rather A, playing Metallica getting filthy rich, B, playing the Wildhearts getting filthy rich, filthy, rich. Yeah, there we go. Very good, very good. Or C, refuse to answer such a stupid shit question from Frank Turner. It's not from me. Anyway, so this is the question: is Metallica versus the Wildhearts? Oh, he's turned around.
I know the answer to this one.
Send himself to Coventry.
He's on strike.
It's a real shit question, though.
It isn't. I mean,
I
I think I know what the answer is.
I'd definitely want to be in Metallica.
Yeah, same here.
You could be like a good drummer in Metallica. One of my hold on, I need to qualify this by the fact that you know that cartoon they used to have in Crank called Pandora.
Yeah.
I was in that once, killing Lars Ulrich with a chainsaw, which is a bit much.
Why?
I'm a big Metallica, like a really big Metallica fan, but
I used to be, yeah, huge.
I was like 21 and I got interviews and I sounded off about how I thought he was a shit drummer. He's not brilliant. They then. What's his name? The guy who used to do
Ray.
Ray. Ray was doing the interview and he put me in Pandora next week. I've got the original self.
Oh, great.
But he's not the best drummer in the world.
No, but,
but there wouldn't be Metallica without him, would there?
No, and he's got a style that all the great drummers from that period copied off.
I suppose the I'm nearly keeping up with everyone style.
Yeah. Well, I saw when he didn't turn up, a download.
I saw that.
And they had like Joey Jorgensen from Slipknot
and
Dave Lombardo. And Hetfield's just like,
right, does it?
the fuck? I've never played this song properly.
Yeah, well, quite. I mean, we shouldn't slag off Lars Ulrich. He's,
No,
as you say,
he's
Metallica
great.
would be
Yeah, it
Metallica
doesn't
without
sound
him.
right without
Yeah.
him.
No, I mean, it's
He's
all
a
part of the
It's like
sound,
Chuck Berry's an amazing guitar player. He's not amazing at playing guitar, but more people copied off him than probably copied off the people that copied off him. And I think Lars Ulrich in is kind
True,
of
I retract my allegations.
and I heard that he stuck up for us when someone slagged us off in his dressing room before.
Really?
Yeah, he did, yeah.
Oh, you know what? That's very cool. And actually, what I will say
And
is...
we will never tour with him now because of you.
Oh.
You will never tour with him.
Yeah. to go on the flip side of it, actually, a few years ago, my friends in the band Gaslight Anthem Metallica did a festival that was quite sort of like, for want of a better word, like indie kind of lineup, and they got asked to do it, and they were a bit like, really? But okay, fuck it, let's do it. And they did it, and apparently Lars was in the dressing room saying hi, and it was very much his deal. You know, he was like, I'm in Metallica and do what I fucking want. I'm gonna put on a festival with all bands that I like.
Yeah, he likes a lot of lighter bands.
Well, and but he's also kind of new bands. He's got his finger on the pulse. He knows what's going on. So you know,
I like that song. Is it Spirit of Jazz? That's a Gaslight.
Yeah.
Great song. That.
Yeah,
really
well, I toured with those boys for a long time.
Really
Lovely
good
people
song.
as well. So sorry, Lars, you're amazing, and I love you.
Can I support
I don't know how I'd go down supporting Metallica, to be honest. Anyway, let's move on. We've got a question for Danny.
Yes.
Yes. This is from Kai from Brocker.
It's not from the door. What are you doing at work?
From / Hemel Hempstead. He says, Danny has a monstrous bass sound that came through particularly well on Renaissance Man. Would he be willing to share his secret?
Learn how to play. Boss Overdrive. Boss Overdrive.
Boss Overdrive?
Yeah. I use it pretty much any amp and I can get my sound. But the same, actually, the secret weapon is my yellow bass, which I've had since '93.
Active pickups.
Active pickups.
Yeah, active pickups.
What is your yellow? Is your yellow bass?
Yeah, it's just behind you there.
P-bass. Yeah.
Dave knows the story about
It's
this.
a P-bass. It's a
It was
P-bass
one
release.
year that they did this bass and they
83.
stopped making
Yeah.
it.
83.
83.
It's inactive. It's got late sensor
But
pickups in.
if he's a bass player, he
Yeah.
needs to get a P-bass and then he can get some EMG active pickups and you'll get the same sound
With an overdrive pedal.
Okay.
Yeah,
Not
but
too-
it
not
has
too
to
much
be a
overdrive.
P-bass.
As with a lot of people's
Yeah.
sound, though, a lot of it's in the playing, and you've got a very
I
weird
hit-
style
I
of
hit
playing.
it.
It's very
I hit it.
rhythmic
Yeah, I hit it.
and it's consistent, but it's weird. You play like from the wrist.
Yeah.
None of this.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
I think that's a lot of that.
if it wasn't
Yeah.
a P-bass, you'd notice it.
Yeah.
Because there's only one bass in the world.
A P-bass.
P-bass. Yeah.
Sounds for punk,
It's-
doesn't it?
I prefer the jazz bass myself.
Get out!
No, there's a lovely Aerodyne Fender jazz bass. It's all black and it's just all chrome
Completely
fit.
Yeah,
different
the big
sound.
ashtray on them look nice.
Gorgeous.
I've started them talking about guitars now. I'll be here all day.
Genesis
Well,
used
I've got
jazz
no
basses.
interest in guitars. I do
that
love basses, though.
Genesis?
Is that good or bad in your books?
It's not.
Genesis.
Yeah.
I hope you're talking about the Bible and
They,
not the
they
band.
pioneered the jazz bass sound.
Next.
Moving on. Sorry, I've got lost on here. If you had to describe the Wildhearts to an extraterrestrial that's just landed on Earth, how would you describe the band? It's difficult because
I've never been able to answer this one. Not with
I mean, yeah, that's-
anyone you meet in the world.
Yeah.
You say, what do your band sound like? And I'm the worst person to
you're
ask that question.
precisely the wrong person to ask anyone in the band, right?
Yes.
Yeah. You know, you can say we're a rock and roll band or whatever.
We make noise.
We make
I
noise.
tell you, we're like cricket without the bats and balls.
Well, people used to say
Hold on, in what way?
Just think about it.
Cross between Motorhead and the Ramones with harmonies.
It's impossible to
remote-
describe.
It was. I used to always remember it was Metallica meets Beatles
With the Beach Boys.
with,
Beach Boys, right.
with Sex Pistols
Ah,
thrown
right.
in.
Yeah.
I know that
in
was a
bar
quite good
fight.
one.
Yeah.
It was like Metallica meets the Beach Boys in a fist fight with the Pistols or something.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah,
But I
yeah,
get
or a bar
that.
fight.
You know, when
Yeah.
Metallica, we all were huge Metallica fans. But Master of Puppets, I think, was one of the albums that we all liked, wasn't it?
Yeah. Including
But then I think so. I'm going off script for a minute here, talking as a fan now. I think one of the things I always liked about you guys is that, from my point of view, I've always inherently thought of you, correctly or not, as a punk band. But it's just like, as versus what was coming out in the 90s, let's say from the West Coast of California and that kind of thing, the musical palette that you guys are all from is just so much broader, because I can hear, classic rock stuff in there, and indeed glam quite a lot, I feel, in there as well, but also more metal stuff as well. And it's just much more varied beast than, like I say, a lot of kind of, all of which I love, but like Western, like Descendants or NoFX or whatever, it's just way broader than that, and there's bits of... you're going to shock you now, I'm really not a Guns N' Roses fan, and the only thing that makes me like Guns N' Roses is the bits of them where I've come to hear a bit of them in what you guys do.
Which was Aerosmith, really.
Right, okay, there you go.
What they took from, again, I was brought up between predominantly 73 and 77, where everything that I like almost happened. So you started off with like the glam, sweet Slade, stuff like that, and ended up in punk. And by then I was just like, I'm a musician, I'm going to do this for my life, it informed everything that I do. And then by the time punk turned into thrash, that was kind of like, I don't think I've really been that influenced by anything since then. So, so I thought 82, I think it all just, everything was kind of shit after that.
Music ended in 1982. You heard it here first. This is a question which is possibly going to make me sound self-interested, but I didn't ask it. Tom in New York asked, the past 12 months have shown us how vulnerable grassroots music venues can be. Do any specific venues hold significance to you, either as musicians or audience members? Let's go with that part of the question.
I'm always fascinated by people who can read and talk at the same speed as they're reading, and you can do that, don't you?
Exactly.
I've seen you do this loads of times where you're looking at something and instead of having to remember it, You're just speaking at the rate that it's going into your eyes. I didn't even listen to the question.
Nottingham Rock City.
Grassroots or independent music venues that mean a lot to you.
Rock City.
Rock City. I mean, there's got to be Rock City.
Barrowlands is another one.
Where is it? I've lost it. There we go. I've got my Rock City tattoo on there.
Oh, good lad.
Excellent.
So this is a good question. How many times have you guys played Rock City?
As the Wildhearts?
As the Wildhearts.
That was about 20 times, didn't it?
Oh, we got, last time we played there, we got a plaque, didn't we? A piece of the floorboard.
I've got one of those. Yeah.
Oh,
Fan
right,
time,
Yeah, it was quite a lot.
Yeah.
It's in double digits.
Here's the thing. So, you know, Anton Lockwood, who runs the venue. Last time I played there, which was when I did my 2000 show there, because I've been counting my shows. I'm sure you guys have done more. But he said something about like how I either had or was edging up on like the most number of either shows or headline shows, and I said that's just can't be true. It cannot be true.
Yeah, we thought the same thing as well.
Yeah, but I mean, certainly for me, I've only been playing there since like the mid 2000s.
It was the venue where like Ginger and myself first started doing that double harmony singing. We didn't have a lead singer. It was the first time
we were going to split up.
Yeah,
we hated singing so much that we were going to split up. And Andy Coppin, who was running the place at the time, came in with 2 huge magnums of champagne and said, "You'll be headlining here one day," and I'm never wrong. And I remember just going, "This guy's fucking mental, but he's buying us champagne." Okay, Andy. And the next time, I think the next time we played was Izzy Stradlin, and then after that was headlining. He was dead right.
It is the best venue in the world.
I've got to ask you, why do you count your shows?
I count my shows because in my old band I was in Million Dead, our drummer counted our shows. I mean, it wasn't about the number, he just made a list, do you know what I mean? And as he was doing it, I thought it was mental. And then when the band broke up, I was really glad he'd done it because, I mean, that band broke up like 16 years ago now. I couldn't remember anything about what we did, and I've got that list, and I know how many shows we did and where they were. And that seemed kind of cool to me. So when I started doing solo stuff, I started counting. And it was just for my own benefit at the beginning, and no one cared. And it was I kept the list on my website, but no one gave a shit. And I remember when I did my 1000th show, I booked a gig with some mates of mine. It was in a car park in Shoreditch, and it was wicked. And I said to them, it's going to be my 1000th show, and they were like, "1000th what? What does that mean? What are you talking about?" And I said, "It was my 1000th show," and they were like, "How do you know that? What are you talking about?" Do you know what I mean? They just like, "What are you talking out of your ass?" And I said, "Well, no, here's the list." And I said, "The list." Since then, it's acquired a life of its own. And now, like in the run-up to Show 2000, everyone wanted to know where it was going to be. And then the day afterwards, somebody asked me where Show 3000 was going to be, and I was like, "Give me a fucking break." Do you know what I mean? So, I mean, do you guys have any idea how many shows you guys have done?
I haven't got a clue.
No. I know how many you've done.
But this is it. Because I was chatting with a friend of mine who's in another touring band, and he was like, "I reckon we probably did about 5,000 shows," and I was like, no, you definitely did, because they were around for like 4 years, whatever. And I was like, "No, you didn't." And it was just, I think we're all quite bad at numbers. Do you know what I mean? And that seemed.
I know how many shows we've done in the last year.
Yeah.
But then today, right?
Would you count today as a show?
I've been counting my live streams. My general rule for what counts as a show is that you have to do more than 5 songs, and that the audience has to outnumber the people on stage.
Even if it's a televisual audience?
Yeah. Well, but this is the thing.
There's going to be thousands of people watching this.
Well, okay, right, I see what you mean. Yeah, I think that in the world we live in now, that does count.
It's like the 21st century.
I'm not sure. Yeah, I wouldn't have counted it 2 years ago.
Okay.
But I think that just in terms of crew members in the room, I think you're in the running.
There's more crew than there is band.
Oh, there you go. There you go. So it counts the show.
It's a gig.
And I'm sure that we've all done shows to less people than were on stage, right?
You've done shows, much less than this.
Yeah. I'd love to know, but more important, I'd rather know how many songs we have. Have you any idea how many songs you have?
No, and kind of. I've got a sort of list of lyrics to songs on my website, but it includes like covers that I've recorded and released, which don't count, obviously, because I didn't write them. So I'm not entirely sure. 100-ish, I don't know. I'm sure you guys got more than that.
I've no idea. I know I've got probably more than 100, but I couldn't tell you if it's over 500.
But you could sit. I mean, but are you talking about released material, or are you talking about songs you've ever written ever? Because that's much harder, obviously.
Oh no, that's all the crap that you wrote when you were a little kid.
And also some stuff like that ends up being some of it goes in one song and some later.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It breaks up, and you could count though. Someone could count. Someone watching this could count.
I'm sure they could, but not me. But out there, I'd like someone to tell me how many songs I've written.
Okay, if somebody could do that.
Someone's going to do it.
Yeah.
And I'll give you something nice for it.
That sounds
Don't know what it
threatening.
is yet, so I'm not going to say it.
Let's do another question. Chris from Caterham says...
Caterham or Kettering?
Caterham. Caterham?
Okay.
Don't read the questions, the answers. Chris from Caterham says, and this is a good question, who has sustained the worst injury whilst on stage? I think I know the answer. But come on, let's get into some detail.
I dislocated. I was at Reading Festival the first time I played Reading in front of 50, 60,000 people. And the first song I jumped up in the air and I landed and I dislocated and fractured my kneecap at the same time.
Oh.
That was lovely. I finished the gig, mind you.
No, I know.
Yeah,
I remember reading about this in Kerrang.
Yeah,
actually.
I finished the gig. That's probably the worst thing. Yeah, it was painful, like.
Yeah, and you had issues with that going forward for a long time.
I thought my leg wasn't going to take a false leg because my kneecap was so damaged. I didn't think it was going to take the weight of a false leg. So I thought that was, when I lost my leg, that was me in a wheelchair for the rest of my life, but I proved myself wrong, which is nice.
Fucking A.
Yeah, they cut the other leg off so they could take the false leg.
But so, come on, worst stage injury?
Oh, groinal stage strains from jumping.
Right, okay.
As I'm getting older, they're more, they're more frequent, but I stretch now.
Yeah,
for,
right.
For old, we're not kids. We jump quite a lot.
Yeah.
Quite energetic.
You always get asked that question in an interview, you know, if you could tell your younger self something, what would you? And I always say to that, well, I wouldn't, because learning as you do is part of the fun. But the one thing I would do is say stretch.
Yeah.
Because I stretch a lot now.
Yeah.
I fucking threw my back out hard on stage.
I remember that, yeah.
Yeah, it was fucking
And a groin strain. It's like
I've
when
never
they
had a
go
groin
like-
strain.
Oh, it hurts.
You
can't really do much.
Yeah.
For a while, yeah.
Okay, so groin strains.
I was going to say, it's a studio wound, isn't it? Not a live wound. I gave myself a hernia recently singing in the studio.
Really?
Yeah, and I had to go on tour in Japan with a hernia and my bits popping out.
Yeah.
But the worst thing I think on stage was, and it's so rubbish, I had Converse on. I try not to wear Converse on stage anymore. But I had Converse on, and I rolled on one of the chords, one of these leads.
Yeah.
I just rolled and broke the tiny little bone on the side of your
Right,
foot.
yeah.
And I was in plaster for fucking months.
Right.
And it wasn't the injury, it was the recovery.
Right.
That was the worst bit. But I learned never, ever to, now we wear radio packs. I never would wear radio packs before. It was a kind of a sign of defiance to the modern world.
Yeah, I'm not going in for that.
But now I just look at leads and I'm just...
Yeah, fair enough. Rich?
What?
Worst stage injury?
You're always in pain, aren't you?
Yeah.
Hands
I've
and
hit my nose a few times, I suppose.
he sits down a lot, so hemorrhoids is quite
Right. I do always think for my band, we come on stage, we've got a piano player and a drummer, and I'm like, you were sitting down, don't tell me that you're
drummers,
tired.
especially drummers like Richie,
No, I know.
they always look like in pain, don't they?
Actually, thinking about it, when we were doing the first video I ever did with the band, the TV Tan video, or was it Caffeine Bomb? It was one of them where Ginger jumped over the drum kit, landed and wedged me knackers between his shoulder or something, and the drum stool, like while we were filming. So I had to look really rock and roll as though it
Did it
wasn't
make the
hurting
cut?
or anything.
The video? Did it go in the video?
Actually, it must have done, yeah.
Yeah, it's on the end of the video.
Yeah,
It's on the end of the
People
video.
out there can now track down footage.
I'm thinking about that festival in Finland, but that wasn't on stage because it happened when we fell off the
fight.
stage.
Oh.
We had a fight with the security.
Yeah, dislocated my shoulder as well. Beating one of the security up.
I think so. The answer to this question from Chris is Danny.
Yeah.
So I don't understand who this is from. It says hard fisting, but I don't know if that's a place or a name.
Realize waves.
As some of you have solo careers and have put out albums recently, how do you choose what goes on solo albums and what becomes a Wildhearts song? Is it just a vibe? That's a good question.
What does this again?
How do you choose what goes on a solo record and what, when you're writing?
I think, much like probably a lot of people who write a lot of songs, I write to order. So if I'm writing a Wildhearts album, my head will be in that kind of radar setting. And the same with, a solo album, I'll go away somewhere and write a solo album from scratch. So yeah, I write Wildhearts albums from usually the first song I write for a Wildhearts album tends to be the first song.
Right.
And with us, the last song that we write tends to be the last song, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean, Ginger is the main songwriter in the band, so I always contribute a couple of songs, but my solo stuff is a lot easier for me to work on.
Well, because you're in full control.
Yeah, and I just, I lock myself away and just crack on, but it's always nice to contribute something to the
Of course, yeah. CJ, when are you going to do a recipe book, says Feet in it?
I always get asked this, and it's like,
When you learn to cook.
I'm really busy. Even when the Wildhearts are on full pelt, we're all quite busy. But the minute the Wildhearts stop, I'm off. I do my sauce. I've got my solo stuff.
Yeah.
And I have a 6-year-old as well, and I don't really stop. But it's my passion cooking, and I would love to do a recipe book. And I've got an idea.
Okay.
And I've been approached by a publishing company.
Amazing.
To do one,
So it's in
just a matter of me. It's going to be a rock and roll scrap cookbook.
Okay.
So it'll be
Amazing.
stories of being on the road, pictures of the bands I've been in with.
Yeah, with
recipes
yeah.
and stuff, but nothing in order. I hate formal stuff. So,
Okay. Will it be easy enough for someone like me to follow?
Yes,
who can't cook
I
to save
like my
life?
favourite type of food is gourmet junk food. I like all the food, like
Okay.
burgers, wings, curries, pizzas, so I can cook everything I love.
Yeah.
And I hate really formal. I enjoy a la carte and nouvelle cuisine.
Yeah.
But I hate the minute you have to have a certain way to eat stuff that put on smart clothes to eat food. That's bollocks, man.
Yeah,
food is
yeah.
supposed to, you're supposed to get in there, get
So
down.
there's not going to be any
and
kind of like
dirty.
jus or like.
Jus?
Yeah.
A jus.
A jus.
You, yeah, not a jus. A jus.
A jus. I don't fucking know.
It's like, well, it's a Ponzi French word for a
Yeah.
gravy.
But are you going to have anything involving
No,
a jus?
French, I mean,
or
no
a
excuse to the
reduction?
French, but French food is really Ponzi. Right? And if they just relaxed and pulled the fists out of their asses and just shared their food and just get rid of the cutlery and get down and dirty and eat like pigs,
See,
I would embrace it with my heart.
The counterpoint to that.
Sing goodbye to our French fans.
Yeah, well, one of my very best friends is French, and he just basically every time I hang out shouts at me about how we don't know how to cook.
Everyone goes on about classic cooking, and you know it has to be the French way. But then you're dissing the Japanese, and you're dissing like the Italians for pizza and stuff.
Yeah.
But I like simple food, and I like food which crosses all genres, all races,
Including
all classes.
the French.
So there's something about a humble chicken wing,
Okay.
right? And that anyone can eat a chicken
Yeah.
wing.
Well, and you just give me some of your hot sauce.
yeah,
I
that's
can't
good.
wait.
That is
Although
good,
I took the hot stuff, not the extreme hot stuff,
Yeah.
because I'm kind of a pussy when
But
it comes
food
to
should,
sauce.
but food. What the point is, food should never be snobby.
Okay,
Right?
yeah, I'll get behind that.
Food is
Yeah.
for everyone.
Right,
and-
I
and
agree.
it
I
should
agree with
never
that.
be snobby.
Definitely,
Yeah.
definitely. Moving on. So we're going to go round and round again. Scotty in Cumbria says, "What is everybody's favourite song to play live?" Don't think about it.
I hate playing them all. I really do. Until I write some instrumentals, I'm going to hate singing any time, any song. I hate them all, honestly.
Okay.
Usually the new one, because it's like keeps you on your toes, because you've got to remember the lyrics. But the ones that you go on autopilot for, I hate singing them. But I do like the crowd reaction. And that's my treat.
All right.
Baby's a head fuck for me.
Baby's a head fuck.
Everlane.
Oh, Everlone, yeah.
My
Yeah?
favourite. Yeah.
You got two votes for Everlane.
I like the old ones where you're not kept on your toes.
Right, because it's all automatic. Okay. Andy from Keighley says, if you could choose one artist not including me, which is very generous of him to assume that any of you might have said this anyway. He says, if you could choose one artist to collaborate with, who would that be?
Probably like the Descendants for me. Definitely.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah. Because I
mate.
mean, I know your friends. I know you know Stefan and Carl, and I know Stefan really well. But yeah, because it'd be like a childhood-like thing as well.
Fucking
working with
sensational, man.
Descendants,
Yeah.
I'd love that.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm jumping another question here, but like, I've met Milo a bunch of times, and then the last time I met him, he kind of remembered who I was, and it made my fucking day. We ended up eating together at catering festival.
It was, when I found out like Stefan was a big Wildhearts fan, and then eventually, I mean, we've become friends. but-
Stefan and I have chatted about you guys.
I mean, and Carl as well.
Yeah.
And it's amazing, like, you know, the bass player and the guitarist from the Descendants are Wildheart fans, and it's just like, and they're proper fans as well.
No, I know. It's amazing.
Such an honour.
Yeah, totally.
Such an honour, yeah.
First time I met Bill, who was in fucking Black Flag as well, he came down to see me at some bar show in Fort Collins and just came into the backstage and I went, fucking hell. And he just said, my wife likes your music and says I have to get a photo with you. And I said, right. And I said, can I get a photo with you for me? And he was like, oh. Okay. And then we took photos.
I think Bill's like, he is the American punk
he's
drummer.
just unbelievable.
I mean, he's insane.
Yeah.
Insane. I mean, they're such great players, though.
Yeah.
And
what a
Milo's
band.
voice.
What a band.
Yeah.
Okay, so, Descendants.
I don't know. I used to have a list of people I'd like to contribute with, work with, and I don't have any now. I guess it's kind of, I've gone past the age where you want to work with other people, so I can't think of anyone.
Okay.
Dolly Parton.
Dolly Parton.
Yeah.
Brilliant. Good answer.
Toy Dolls.
Toy Dolls.
Yeah, Olga from the Toy Dolls.
Are they still going?
Yeah, they're
concern?
still going strong.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
okay,
yeah,
right. There we go.
yeah,
That's
yeah.
me corrected.
It's
Okay.
played on the I did an album with a band called the Yo-Yos when I was in the
Yeah.
And Olga plays on one of the songs in that, so I've got my hero to so I've worked with them.
So you've beaten the question
I've
already?
beat the question, I've
All
done
right,
it.
okay.
It'd be brilliant if that Frank Turner bloke could
Oh,
do
no,
something.
it's not allowed. Not disallowed. It's
Oh,
disqualified.
I meant Frank Carter.
Oh, there we go. Oh, wow. Frank is a good friend of mine, and we always post pictures to each other together to get the enemy to get their shit together about who's who.
People,
They just fucking post
yeah.
articles about him with photos of me all the time, and vice versa. Anyway, right, okay, let's move on. This is from Buckers in Ringwood in Hampshire.
Oh, Buckers. Ringwood. It's a great name, isn't it? Ringwood.
I know
Buckers
Ringwood.
is a good
It's in the New Forest.
Oh,
Mate, mine runs a pub in Ringwood.
I'm keen for that.
That's very nice. Let's go.
Instead of doing this, please.
Yeah, Bucker says, it seems to us fans that the band has hit a new lease of life since Danny returned. The shows, remember them, have been next level. Do you guys feel like you're in your best ever form?
We were talking about this the other day, weren't we?
We were talking about it the other day, yeah. It's kind of... I think the fans that... We were just saying that, like, because, you know, when we play shows now and the fans have been there and, like, been through it all with us and they're all, you know, they were young and they've lived and through the same experiences and emotions and we're all still there together now. So when we play shows, and it just feels even more special than, you know, when it was in the 90s when we were doing all the big shows and it was, you know, a real big deal. But it just feels even more special now.
Added gratitude, I think.
Yeah.
I enjoy. I must admit, going on stage now. It's. I enjoy it a lot more. Yeah. I want to go up and have a dance and a jump around and a sing.
Yeah.
You know, it's what I'm really looking forward to.
Yeah.
Running around more and.
It's kind of pure.
And you kind of think as you get older, you're going to slow down a bit. But I'm the opposite.
As long as your
wanna be
groin
more
holds
in-
out.
I've got cups now.
That is an exclusive.
I've got a groinal cup. Got it off Gene Simmons.
Jesus Christ. I've been given the one more question thing. So thanks to everybody who sent in questions. I'm sorry I didn't get to all of them. But I guess I'm going to finish talking about, we nearly got onto this right at the beginning. You've nearly preempted my final question, you bastards. It's been a weird year. There's been no gigs. People are talking about gigs coming back again. I think it's not going to be quite as simple as some people seem to think it's going to be. It's not going to be like flicking a light switch and everybody's back pushing past crowded people to the bar and crowd surfing and shit like that. That's not fucking going to be simple. Nevertheless, at some point, gigging will come back. How do you guys feel about all of that? About not playing for a year? About getting back into things? Do you have any plans along those lines? And also, like, what's the kind of long-term perspectives for you guys?
We've just recorded a new album.
Yeah.
So that's going to be coming out in the autumn, and we're also
That kept us
touring.
busy.
Yeah, that's kept us busy.
Writing that and recording that kept us busy.
And,
We've all been
we've got-
busy. I mean, none of us have been like idle. I mean, Ginger has his solo thing. I've got my solo thing. You know, it works. You know, it's. Lots of people have used this year off productively. You know, and and it's enabled them to do things they would have never done. So you can turn a bad situation to something really, really good and positive. But you know, ultimately, you know, we're all in the Wildhearts, and this is what we want to do, and we're working towards things opening up. But you're right, it isn't going to be.
I don't know how it's going to go.
You know, it's not just a switch, is it? And everything.
No, and I think there's going to be euphoria on some levels because I mean, if you guys miss shows, I guess is part of my question.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It's not even. I mean, I got into doing this quite young, and I never had a break from playing live, much like yourself.
Yeah.
This is the only time I've had a break from playing live, and it's been a year. And I didn't realise how much it, you know, socially it meant just sharing something with the people there. And just exercise, cardio. It's like it's an awful lot of cardio for 90 minutes.
Yeah, totally. I've started running.
You know, but you just can't get that same kind of, you know, you're running through the pain.
Yeah.
When you're running just down the road, you can stop through the pain. When you're on stage and it's like you've got fucking 15 songs to play, you get
going.
through,
Yeah.
and that's where you get your fitness level.
I've got an exercise bike. Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
very
And I
simple.
slag myself off when I'm on it. Get out of my fucking way, you can't.
But yeah, it's. I mean, I find like I've spent a bit of time in recent years kind of toying with the idea of taking a year off, and you know, probably some pretentious shit like I'm not going to live in Paris for a year and write songs, some bollocks like that. I never did it. I've just taken a year off, and I promise I'll never do it again. Do you know what I mean? I promise never to entertain that shitty idea of taking a year off again. It's fucking horrible.
It really has been
It's what
horrible.
we do, right? It's
I think it's made a lot of people appreciate just how lucky they were before all this starts. You know? Which is, sometimes you do need a reset.
Yeah.
And hopefully this is a reset, and everyone will come out of it stronger and with a greater appreciation of life and love.
That's a pretty good place to wrap that up, isn't it?